Remember the old calisthenics that we did at high school and should have kept doing as we got older. Now, in the last posting I did, the last little video, I didn't title the video because I wanted to come up with a title that meant something. And I said that I would investigate those who are or have stood for federal parliament in this area called Hinkler. Hinkler was named after Bert Hinkler, an extraordinary pioneer aviator who flew single-handedly from England to Australia way back in the years of the dinosaurs, just about. Really, an amazing feat. Now, it is a good, compact area, contains two major towns, Hervey Bay, which I'm in, and Bundaberg, which a little to the north and is very agriculture focused. Sugarcane, macadamias, and all sorts of veggies. Wonderful people doing wonderful things, putting food on our shelves. Hervey Bay is very much for all sorts of people, but a lot of retirees and a lot of people who operate tourist ventures here because it is a big tourism town. Now, you say, well, that's great, it's a fine place. No, it has underlying problems which need attention that only a federal government could give it. When I looked at the people who stood in 2025 for election to Parliament to represent Hinkler, I see that a Liberal Party fellow got in, closely followed, not that close, by Labor, who lost. Green vote was very modest. The Family First, the various people who put their hat in the ring, hardly showed up. However, most of them are almost invisible on social media, which I think, and I'm talking about social media as in Twitter and X, which I think is extremely important. Why? Well, X, if you put something up, and unless you block people deliberately, they can argue with what you put up. They can call you all sorts of names. That's fun. Or they can agree with you or disagree with you and put their own version of what you're arguing about. I think it's a brilliant communication device. Facebook, larger, probably more popular, but it's able to be self-censored. So if people start writing in and calling you all sorts of things, you can delete their posting just very easily. And they tend not to do that because then Facebook jumps on them. Just, well, you can't say that and you can't say this about that and that about this. Oh, you're going against global warming. You're going against the COVID shot. So Facebook can be far more restrictive, but I use it anyway. So what I have decided to do is stand as an independent for Hinkler. My town, Hervey Bay. I also have my town, Bundaberg, because I used to live there as well. I haven't lived in this area all my life, so what? What does that mean? Oh, I've lived here all my life, therefore vote for me? Yeah, really? If you really believe in helping people get a better shot at things, get not screwed by government rules and regulations, then that person is the vote. Sorry, that person is the person to vote for. Tripping over my tongue, because this is not scripted, this is from the heart. So, what I'm going to do now is do a series of videos on this area, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about the problems that agricultural people face, red tape, green tape, cost of power for them, which is enormous because they have to water their crops, the availability of water at all times because we have a dam on the Burnett River called Paradise Dam. It's problematic because the structure has been found to be unsafe. So instead of fixing it up, they're pulling parts of it down. Therefore, when there's a drought, there'll be less water. The Burnett River itself floods several times since I've been here, 4 or 5 times. This is costing millions of dollars for the poor people of Bundaberg. Millions. Ruining businesses, ruining lives, destroying a caravan site where people with not a big income lived and was never rebuilt. They used to dredge that river very, very well, I'm told. Not so much now. And they're arguing about fixing it. They're always arguing about fixing something. Instead of going ahead and fixing it, they argue about, yeah, it might not work. Well, just try it out. Just do something. Get that dredge in and dredge it out all the way up to where they do rowing championships, etc., further up in the placid waters of the Burnett River. Why not? The people in Harvey Bay, a lot of retirees, a lot of older people, naturally, them who are retirees. We're well serviced, I think, with doctors. I have no trouble getting into a doctor with my Medicare card, which Albanese says will open all doors. Don't bet on it. What we're short of is specialists. People get on the train or take the long drive to Brisbane, 4 hours away, 3.5, 4 hours. On the Bruce Highway, which one of the winners of the last election called the wonderful Bruce Highway. I don't know why. I drove to Cairns once. That was a nightmare. And yet, we have trucks going up and down there 24/7, delivering goods. So, they have to go a long way to see a specialist. We have, I think, 1 or 2 specialists in this town, maybe more than 2, but we don't have a good range of specialists. And one of the ways that they can fix that is to encourage specialists to come here with some sweetener of some kind. I think it's a great area for that. Great area for retirement people, and it's a great area for tourism. The other problem that I'm looking at is youth unemployment. Where do the young people get a job? Now, I meet a lot of young people, great people, in supermarkets and in Bunnings and all sorts of places. And they're good, they're great kids. And they're smart as whips, smarter than I am. So they've got jobs, but there's a lot that haven't. And we need to focus on that. We need to focus on what sort of jobs are available for young people. And it's not, believe me, university. University here and in Bundaberg do nursing courses. Brilliant, wonderful. We need that. But we don't need young people studying media studies or English as it was way back. Shakespeare, etc. is good, but it won't land you a job. We need tradespeople, men and women, boys and girls, and we have a TAFE college here, and we need to see that boosted, built up, etc. So there's a lot for me to explore, and there's a lot for me to think about as running for an independent in the borough, if I may call it that, of Hinkler. So, what's the title? Well, it comes from an old song. I might even sing it one day. I won't back down. Good to talk to you. This is John Rao from Nouveau Rust, and I'll be with you soon.